Jesús, Enrique, Rosas, the body language guy. Oh my goodness, I've been so excited to speak to you. I absolutely love your channels because, of course, a bit like this show, actually, Jesús, you mix coverage of the royal family, the non-royal moaners over at Montecito with geopolitics, political figures.
Yeah, it's a bit of, everything's a system, Dan, and thank you for inviting me. I'm very flattered. I'm a big fan of your job, of what you do. I told you you're the expert here in interviews. I'm trying to learn from you, and what is great is that it's this is all related. Politics, the royals, the cultural war as well. Everything is interconnected. So it's fascinating to connect the dots.
It is absolutely fascinating. And as you know, we like to look at a lot of British politicians, what's going on in the UK on this show. So I thought it would be fascinating to get the body language guy's take on some of our biggest moments and our biggest politicians from pretty much the last year. And I wanted to kick off, Jesús, with a man called Nigel Farage, leader of the Reform UK party here in the UK.
Nice.
But also the man who many predict will be the next Prime Minister of the UK. Now, over the past year, we have been left shocked and horrified by the Southport massacre and this terrible butchering to death of 3 young girls at a Taylor Swift dance concert. I think it very much changed the political mood in the UK, Jesús, because it came so soon after the election of Keir Starmer, or Slippery Starmer as I call him, to the role of Prime Minister. And the British public, I believe, were lied to, and that this is actually a real cover-up. And Nigel Farage has probably been one of the only politicians, alongside maybe Richard Tyson, Robert Jenrick, actually brave enough to talk about what really went on in Southport. He's received a lot of criticism for it. So I wanted to look at this interview where he talks about it and then get your reaction.
On Southport, all I can say to you right now is I know a hell of a lot more than the British public know. A hell of a lot more. I've been completely silenced. I dared, the day after Southport, to do a video to say, can we please know who this man is? Was he known to the authorities? Why do I feel we're not being told the truth? The level of demonisation I came under for that from both front benches was astonishing, from media commentators, demonisation on a level that I'd never even experienced. Now I'm told by the Speaker of the House of Commons, I can't ask questions about it in the House of Commons. Parliamentary privilege is out of the window. Even rumours today that the court case, which is due in January, every effort is being made to defer it. Right? Yeah, this is what's going on.
Jesús, so you can see there that Nigel is very physically passionate compared to a lot of politicians. Is he being authentic?
Well, in 2 things. The first part, when he was saying that he knew a lot more of what the public knows, he was bringing his head back. He was trying to contain himself a bit. He's very passionate throughout the whole statement that he has. He's showing only his left hand. Usually he's trying to contain himself a bit, keeping his right hand under the table. He's using just one hand to express that anger. I don't know if he's left-handed, by the way. That would be interesting to know. But in this case, is that bringing his head back in the sense that I know a lot more and I have to refrain myself to talk too much about this. But when he talks about, let's bring this to the public, he leans forward. He is much more engaging about that. He wants all this to be known. So I think that he's authentic in the sense that his body language follows his words, what he wants to project. Okay, I am containing myself about this, but I also want this and it has to be known, right? So I have analyzed this clip, by the way, on my show, and I remember that You know how it's public opinion. You have one part of the population that says that he is being too bland, and the other he's crossing a line. We all have biases, but in this case, when we analyze words and body language, both are in sync. So my verdict is that he is being authentic.
Okay, good. Good. Because I actually think he really is too. I think he's very passionate about this. Quite a contrasting approach, Jesús, from the Prime Minister Keir Starmer, who certainly doesn't speak with the same passion. Some people have described him as quite robotic. But
Yes.
this is when he wanted to crack down on these so-called rioters after the Southport massacre and send a message really to the public of shut up. So let's have a look at the Prime Minister and get your response.
Be in no doubt, those that have participated in this violence will face the full force of the law. The police will be making arrests, individuals will be held on remand, charges will follow, and convictions will follow. I guarantee you will regret taking part in this disorder, whether directly or those whipping up this action online and then running away themselves. This is not protest. It is organised, violent thuggery, and it has no place on our streets or online.
Jesús, what
So
did you
here
make of that?
This is very interesting because this is the moments when you have someone reading from a script and he's basically not moving. So you have, in fact, this is easier because you have like fewer ingredients to analyze. And one thing is the frequency in which he is reading the script. Like he is reading it every 2 or 3 words. Like you should be able to just like take a glance at the line and be a bit more fluent. So it's not like he wants to stick to the very tight script. Maybe he is nervous about what he's saying. He makes sure to keep his hands on the lectern or the podium. Only once he gestures with his left hand, and it's right before addressing those who are steering the pot online. He's addressing the people who are online, we who are posting on X, on Facebook. It's incredible that he's talking about such a horrific happening. And the only moment when he expresses some kind of emotion is for those who are expressing their sentiment online. Wow. And his body language, you say the word robotic, is pretty much emotionless. There is absolutely no emotion on his eyebrows, no emotion on his eyes. It's rather unsettling because he looks like an NPC, somebody who has no emotions, just reading a script. He's basically reading a script, but we know that he is in charge, sadly, of the role of Prime Minister. And even so, he manages to not express an emotion unless it is those who are criticizing him, because we know that the main criticism is about his performance as Prime Minister.
Well, yes. And also, Jesús, how much he was covering up from us. So I want to show you now Yvette Cooper. She's the Home Secretary of the UK. This was an interview with GB News, my former employer. And what is so shocking to me is that we have since learned that Yvette Cooper would have been told by this point that Axel Ruda-Cabana, the man who is facing trial for the deaths of the 3 little girls at the Taylor Swift dance class in Southport, had an Al-Qaeda training manual, or is at least accused of having an Al-Qaeda training manual. I've got to be careful because of our ridiculous contempt of court laws here in the UK, Jesús. And also that he was accused of producing ricin. Now, she knew about that at the time, according to the former Prime Minister Liz Truss, who has appeared on this show, according to the former the former Home Secretary, Priti Patel, now the shadow Foreign Secretary. However, can you tell if she was deliberately covering something up here? Let's have a watch.
In the investigation, of course, we heard from Merseyside Police yesterday that it isn't being considered a terror-related incident. How do we know that it's not terror-related?
Well, there is a serious criminal investigation underway because this was a horrific attack. It's important that the police pursue every single avenue, and that is what Merseyside Police are now doing. I support Merseyside Police in that work, but it's immensely important that they need to be able to continue that. And they will provide updates. You'll understand that I'm not going to say anything that would cut across their investigation or prejudice that investigation, as I take that investigation immensely seriously into this truly horrific attack.
We're in a bit of a knife crime.
Was she telling us the truth, Jesus?
Well, she's making a very standard statement that we're going through this, we're going through the investigation. She is controlling her body language a lot. I've seen her body language, her standard or usual body language is that she keeps her hand gestures at waist level, so we cannot see those gestures right now. When she's listening to the question of the journalist, is something that you should take into account, that she is already like nodding, right? She's like acknowledging that there's this problem, but at the same time, it is a question. You don't have to really nod to a question. It is not necessary. So maybe she is doing it in some kind of reciprocity way, that so you can agree what she's about to say. It is just a possibility. It is not a concrete verdict. It's the kind of things that we do in body language that, okay, maybe she is agreeing to the question itself, or she wants you to agree what she is about to say. There's a bit of a duality in there. Again, there's a very controlled body language. There's a very controlled rate of speech, something that maybe she speaks that all the time, or maybe she has rehearsed this. I wouldn't be surprised that she has rehearsed these words. So make sure that's in such a sensitive topic, and everybody's just glued to the screen to see what she's about to say, that she might have rehearsed this in a way to not say anything out of the script, so to speak. So that is what I see as something that is completely devoid in the sense that you try to stick to that script. You try to be formal or neutral, but at the same time, you seem detached to the horrific incident, because this is something that any human and with hot blood will relate to this and be horrified by this. And I don't see either in Starmer or in her any sort of actual emotions against this. So that is concerning. In fact,
it's concerning. I think it's because they knew. And so as a result, that's why you have to cover up those emotions. Now, look, Jesus, Shamima Begum, she's the UK's most famous ISIS bride, desperate to get Keir Starmer to allow her to return from Syria. I should point out, by the way, Jesus, I haven't told Jesus about any of these clips beforehand. We're watching live.
I was going to mention that. I'm
yes.
blind completely.
Yes.
I haven't seen any of this.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're going to produce.
Yes, exactly. I should have mentioned that at the top. So Jesus isn't prepared for this. He may have seen some of these clips in the production for his show, but he hasn't had any warning today. So Shamima Begum, she now claims that she's a reformed woman, that she should be allowed back to the UK. I think it's an act, but what I want to do is go and look at one of her early interviews to see if you really believe, Jesus, that she has expressed any contrition about the fact that she left the United Kingdom, this country, to go and join ISIS. But first, you know how often I talk about the need for free speech to be protected, but I've been increasingly thinking of the need for personal protection online from snoopers, bad actors, and hackers, and I'm delighted to tell you what my solution is. This VPN is a life changer when it comes to providing you entertainment and information from anywhere in the world, as well as that protection. So let me talk about Surfshark. It is an easy and incredible service that encrypts all your internet traffic, meaning your online activities stay safe so you can shop, stream, browse, and conduct your banking online in complete privacy. But the benefits of Surfshark go way beyond keeping you safe. It also allows you to access your favorite entertainment and news shows and news channels from anywhere in the world, wherever you are at any time. Plus access, this is the big thing now, to all the streaming services internationally, including the ones that might be geo-blocked in your region: Hulu, iPlayer, HBO Max, Peacock, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus. You can be within seconds watching as if you are in another country. Or if you're traveling for work or on holiday, you can also get all your favorite content from home, including sports. This is an insurance policy too against creeping censorship in many countries like France, which has now blocked Rumble for many months. So effectively, with Surfshark, you can watch anything, anytime, anywhere, wherever you are. This is true freedom. It can also be a money saver if you use it in the right way as well. Because do you know, I actually didn't know this before I was with Surfshark, but there are some websites in the world that will actually change their prices depending on where you're buying from. Other benefits of Surfshark include the use of unlimited devices, meaning you can protect your entire household with one subscription via the 3,200 servers in over 100 countries. If this is your first time using a VPN, by the way, though, I completely understand it. The great thing about Surfshark is there is 24/7 customer service. I found signing up, though, incredibly easy. If you go to surfshark.com/outspoken right now, you will get an extra 4 months of Surfshark at an unbeatable price. What's more, and this is really important, Surfshark are so confident they're the best VPN in the world that they will let you try their service for 30 days. If you're not entirely satisfied, you will get all of your money back. So go to surfshark.com/outspoken for an extra 4 months of Surfshark at an unbeatable price. But now, back to the show.
Allowed to come home or not? You know that, do you? Okay. What are your feelings about that?
I think a lot of people should have like sympathy towards me for everything I've been through. You know, when I didn't know what I was getting into when I left, and I just was hoping that maybe for the sake of me and my child, they let me come back. Because I can't live in this camp forever. It's not really possible.
Now, is she someone who cares about what she's done? Oh, sorry, Jesus, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh,
can
sorry,
you hear me?
Jesus, I just lost you there. Can you start again? Sorry, is she someone? Yes, I'll just say.
Yes, I thought this is my, there's maybe an appreciation in terms of that. Okay, maybe she regrets that this was not the best idea. Okay, but is the coming back to the UK? You are so right in which you need like actual repentance, have remorse about that, and say, okay, I'm gonna be a good citizen this time. And I see that when she answers these interviews, she's always looking away from the journalist. That can mean two things: that she is embarrassed of what she did, or she is not confident or not to be trusted of what she is saying. Like that is a 50-50. That is a first 50-50. And I wouldn't say that, I wouldn't discard that she, of course, really wants to go back to the UK, but we don't have the guarantee what level of control she's got over her own decisions, because you know how brainwashing can happen both in a personal and mass scale. We are all too familiar with that. And the problem with brainwashing is that sometimes the body language can follow so closely what the person is saying, is that you cannot discard the fact that maybe they are trying to express something, maybe they are trying to express remorse, but there's something off. I have always seen her interviews, especially there are a couple of interviews of her that I remember that she was looking directly into the camera, and I couldn't help but think that felt like a hostage recording. Like she was being forced to say that, and that always gave me bad vibes. On a personal note of her case, I always thought that it was a very bad idea to let her back into the UK, but that would be a security hazard. I don't think it is worth. I don't think it's worth the trouble, the possible trouble. Will be an alleged trouble if she comes back, but also a message to anybody who wants to make this kind of decisions. You need to understand that you have to live with the consequences of your decisions, and this is not to be taken lightly. So I think in many ways I said, okay, this is 50-50. Maybe she is for real or she is not, but the problem is what is at large. It's the interest of a whole country in terms of what it means to feel safe in the UK. And I think Shamima has been for bad or for good an example of that, of what is to live with the consequences of your actions and what it means to, hey, we have to draw a line here. You cannot just say that, oh, I mess up and can I go back? No, you can't.
Jesús, I want to move on to Sadiq Khan. He is the mayor of London. And what I want to do here is a bit of compare and contrast, because before the election of Donald Trump, he used to make out as if this guy was the worst person in the world. And since his re-election, he has had to have a dramatic change. So these are two interviews, both on the UK radio station LBC, hosted by his good friend, the hard left propagandist James O'Brien. The first is part of a debate that he had with his London mayoral rival, Susan Hall of the Conservative Party. The second is James O'Brien challenging Sadiq following the election of Donald Trump. So let's have a look at both of these now.
I think this is the greatest thing in the world. The diversity is one of the reasons why it's great. Do you regret supporting Donald Trump, who's a racist, sexist, and homophobe? Do you regret liking Enoch Powell? Do you regret liking Lee Anderson, the Islamophobe? Will you apologise unequivocally for having those sorts of views and promise to be a mayor, if you win, that unites communities rather than your record of dividing them?
I do not divide communities. I support all communities. I come from Harrow, where it's the most diverse borough in London, I'd say. It's incredible. And actually, if you look at all communities...
Are you going to apologise or not?
No, if you look at all communities, we've all got the same values. We all believe in hard work. We all believe in family, and we all believe in fairness. And we should all look at people in that way. We've all got the same values.
No apology for Trump, for Enoch Powell or Lee Anderson. You're unfit to be the mayor.
And then
Phobic, Islamophobic, sexist. You've returned to that accusation that you made previously. What does that achieve?
Well, no, it's really important that we put out a hand of friendship to President-elect Trump. I wish him well.
You can't have it both ways. You can't call his policies sexist, homophobic, Islamophobic and racist and put out a hand of friendship at the same time.
Well, I think...
So, I mean, what do you make of that 180?
Okay, we have a very distinct body language in terms of there are many things that play here. This is really interesting. I had never seen any of these two clips. I haven't analyzed Sadiq Khan that much. The first one, you see that he is leaning back with this gangster attitude, as in, why don't you apologize for supporting this racism, misogynist, and all that? And most of all, when the lady is trying to give her her argument, and he immediately interrupts her and looks to the other side, and you can hear, even if you don't see him, that he is going through his papers and trying to not care about what she is saying, which is very smug. It's very unpolite of him, because she is establishing eye contact with him, but he decides to look the other way. Like, I don't know how it's possible that you disagree with my very biased stance. Only from that you see that he is not willing to listen to somebody who has a different opinion. That is a huge red flag. And for someone who has to be a public servant, well, you should listen to every single opinion of every person. So only from that, it's a huge red flag. And the second clip, you see that he is standing completely straight, and he has, I believe that he has his hands. I don't know if he has his hands together, but was not only standing straight, but he was looking a bit. Yeah, he was looking a bit down. And we cannot see them, but he had absolutely had his hands together. So it's a contrast of day and night, gangster attitude. How can you not apologize for supporting Trump? And well, now we need to work closely with him. It's a great
life
contrast.
Comes at you fast moment, isn't it? Oh God!
Yes.
What a horrible man. How terrible that we're stuck with him here in London, Jesús. Okay.
And he's gonna be he's gonna receive a knighthood now.
Yes, Sir Sadiq, absolutely ridiculous. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.